And we're live.
What up? Let's get weird. It's your boy Tommy G here with the week 10. Is it week 10, Bill?
You think so?
Oh, God. Why do I ask you things? Healy, is it week 10?
Sure is. NFL Week 10. We're right marching along with the NFL with this show.
I mean, I can't believe this is fucking week 10 already. This is what the fuck?
Yeah.
Season's almost over.
It's been a shitty season. So
Hold on. I gotta tell Mike I'm on Stay Cashin. He keeps calling.
The NFL certainly can't get any worse. I say it to myself every week, but I guess we'll see. See how they surprise us this week.
Billy, I had told Tommy today I have a betting trend that is going wild on TikTok.
Whoa.
Wild. You know these young kids in the new TikTok phase. I actually got into TikTok a little bit about a month or two ago, doing like TikToks with my dog. And then she got sick. She got a UTI, so that ended right there. So she wasn't her normal self, but I have to go back. So I started following TikTok. Would you guys like to know the trend?
I mean, listen, Bill Rupp on TikTok may be the best thing ever. So yeah.
So let's see. Let me go to the beginning. All
so
right.
You don't know what it is.
No, I read about it before. I want to get it right, so I don't say it. Betting in favor of teams who did not cover the previous week when facing teams who did cover the previous week has a record of 39, 14, and 1 this season. It is all the rage on TikTok. They are going nuts betting this trend. So week 2, so you can't do week 1, 7-0. 6-3, 7-3, 5-2, 3-3, 1-2, 3-0, and then this week 7-0 again. The games this week that coincide with that: Raiders.
Writing them down. Hold on, I'm gonna be tracking this. All right, go.
Raiders plus 2.5 versus Kansas City. Eagles plus 2.5 over Denver at Denver. Saints plus 3, Tennessee. Carolina plus 10, Arizona. Dallas minus 9.5 against Atlanta, and Baltimore minus 7 against Miami. Those are the ones who covered last week against didn't cover last week against teams who did cover that week. So,
I mean, you can make a case for the fact that TikTok trend makes sense if you correlate it to what I've been saying, that NFL games are fixed. I mean, that literally coincides perfectly with the fact that they're just flip-flopping. You know, whoever covers this week doesn't cover the next week, covers this week, doesn't cover the next week. I mean, we have to talk. We didn't add it to the show plan, but we have to talk about this Monday Night Football game that was completely rigged, that we didn't get a chance to talk about yesterday because we didn't have a show. So, Healy, I know me and Bill spoke about it a lot in the Discord and a lot on the show. Night Ghost is out today. He'll be back on Friday. Healy, do you think NFL games are fixed? Any of them? If so, how often and how? So what is your take on the NFL fixing games?
Yeah, so I don't know if it's from like a league perspective, but I certainly think referees are the main culprit on fixing games, and I think Monday night we saw that blatantly with the phantom taunting call that was not a taunt, and then the referee kind of goes out of his way to throw himself into a player.
Yeah,
hip check, elbowed, and just so I guess so he had something to fall back on. But I mean, that was absolutely egregious. I haven't followed up. I'm gonna have to tune in the Rupp and Rackets. Has there been any reprimanding of that official? I mean, has he been pulled off games or anything?
The NFL just put out a video explaining why it was the right call. I didn't watch it, but it's on Twitter right now.
They were saying that he already had his hand on the flag and was going to throw it anyway. And by him, that was just by.
So he was going to throw the flag as the guy had already turned around and was walking away from the thing that he did, really?
And then coincidence that he stepped back the same time.
Yeah, it was a coincidence. I posted a tweet that got a little bit of traction that shows it's slow-mo, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, so that you could see him bracing and backing up, bracing and backing up to run into the player. It was blatantly a hip check, dude. This is the media narrative where they need to squash this shit. It was not the right call. And that wasn't even the only call, because there was the play at the fucking goal line, the phantom block at the ankles that we were talking about. Well, that even the announcers were like, what the fuck was that? That called back a Justin Fields touchdown. And there was 2 other spots that were moved up 1.5 yards. There was, I mean, the whole fucking game. It wasn't just that play. That was just the final straw. The 19 offsides penalties every time, the Pittsburgh snapped the ball, they made sure to give them a free play on those drives. I mean, that wasn't even a question. The media can tell me whatever the fuck they want. I've been used to the media lying to me my whole life. I believe my eyes, and I believe exactly what I saw and what I watched. And I know what I saw, and I know what I watched, no matter what they tell me.
So I'm not as strong on you as the cheating narrative and everything, but from what I did see that game and what I've seen a lot this year, I'm starting to jump more on your side. I said it, and as soon as they got that ball back, guys, plus 115, Steelers, take it now, hit it. Whatever I had left in Bet365 that I was betting that day, I unloaded on that plus 115 because that was a given. I mean, they were pushing for the Steelers to win that game no matter what, and whether they were going to get a field goal or a touchdown or whatever to end that game was going to the Steelers. And I put whatever money, I told everybody in Discord, hit it now, whether it's a hedge or whatever you have, just hit the Steelers now because that was the right play because they were cheating. And as we saw on that final drive, there was a flag every single play, whether it mattered or not, whether the guy quit, flag. I mean, you can't tell me. You can't tell me that it wasn't. I mean, it was ridiculous. So, Tommy, you're right on this one.
This emoji?
Evan,
conspiracy theorist wins again.
Evan,
after 5 years of being called an idiot by Bill Rupp over the NFL fixing games, Bill Rupp finally is on the conspiracy theorist side. They're not conspiracy theories, people. They are spoiler alerts.
So, Evan, what do you think? Because you're not like someone who's like 100% hardcore into betting every single game, every single
or minute. Conspiracy theories. He's not on either side of it.
I mean, I like conspiracy theories. I'm just not open about them.
Yeah.
So what did you think about that?
I mean, it's clear. Listen, the NFL is a business, and when it comes down to it, it's all about money. It's not really about the best team winning or anything like that. Like, it's all about money. So they have to make a product that's interesting, and a lot of the Steelers fan base, they would just love it. So I definitely believe there's fixing in games. Like, a ref can be easily persuaded with a couple hundred G's.
See, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking more of along the lines. It's not the NFL. It's more along the lines of it is the refs are seeing these guys make millions and millions and millions of dollars. And now there's gambling widespread across the country. You don't got to fly to Vegas or know someone in Vegas to put in a $300,000 bet anymore. You're within a hour, basically anywhere on the East Coast, anywhere, I don't know, West Coast, they're starting to add, but you could get down bets like that. So why, if I'm a neighbor or I know my uncle's a neighbor of a referee, why am I not going to go over there if I'm betting 400,000 on this game? Hey, Chuck, here's 50 grand, throw some flags. I mean, come on, this shit's happening. And unless they make these refs full-time employees making full-time money where they won't be persuaded, I don't know. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah, just think about the few refs that have been caught, and then think about the refs that have not been caught.
Yep. Money talks. And with Tommy, we can't hear you. Tommy, we can't hear you.
I was muted because my TV just turned on out of fucking nowhere. My TV's just I shut them off, and they just turned back on.
Mine happened if you hit one of the remotes by accident. Now it's starting to turn on the television.
It's turning fucking everything on and off, but then I can't turn it off. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But listen, I've been saying this for a long time, and the reason I say it is because my grandfather, God rest his soul, the one I showed you, Bill, who was missing two fingers, right? His two trigger fingers that he was missing, because he messed up a hit, was in the mob. Like, it was very closely tied. And he used to tell me not only that games were fixed, but he used to teach me how when I was a kid. Here's what we would do. We would go to the smaller colleges and get these players and do it. We would always go for the reps. Remember, I've told the Discord for fucking years, Bill, they usually try to fix the first half. right? So that's usually what they would fix. They fix the first half of games so it doesn't affect the outcome. It's easier on the players and the refs to fix the first half of games. Sometimes they'll fix the whole game. But this has been going on forever, guys. This isn't new.
Do you think that the college started this thing where college players can get paid by endorsements just because they were worried that their names were being used by some video game? No. It's that they can make money so they won't take money for boosters for throwing games. Yeah. We've watched many Buffalo basketball games that were fixed.
Oh, the whole Buffalo basketball team.
One player in specific that threw games for years. And we
have a friend who also knows players at a fairly large college who he knows that person threw 3 games in a season. I went to Villanova. I know someone who was on the Villanova basketball team who threw a game. Like, so of course it goes on. Like, you got to be anything with big money going through it. There's obviously going to be manipulation by people with bigger money. Anyone who doesn't think that is retarded. I mean, fucking Donaghy got thrown in jail for fixing NBA games. And then when he came out, he said 100% of referees gamble. And he went to the same high school as 3 other major referees in the NBA. Like, what are the chances that 4 NBA finals referees all came from the same high school in fucking Pennsylvania? No, there's some mafia guy out there that's fucking has a factory of kids that he's fucking, here, I'm going to get you to where Donaghy is. I'm going to get you to where Hockley is. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go in here, and then you throw me a couple things every once in a while. Like, this is how it works. Healy, let me patch you.
With that guy what was that guy in Casino? What was his name?
That's a movie, Bill.
It was a true life story, though, Tommy. The guy who ran the casino. What was his character's name?
De Niro? I don't know.
I'll look it up.
You know.
Dude, FCTE. Don't ask me for character names or anything. You're going to the wrong dude. But you figure it out while I ask you.
That was a true story based on that guy who used to fix.
Sam Rothstein?
Sam Rothstein. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It was a true story of how he used to start it. He fixed games.
They all fixed games. Anyone who doesn't says otherwise is just a fucking idiot.
It started then, and now it's still going on. It's not like
started before then. It started when sports started. Anything that there's money on, there's illegal activity going on in. Whether it's the pharmaceutical industry, whether it's the stock market, whether it's NFTs, whether it's crypto, if there's big money going on in it, there's people manipulating it and finding the people who make the least money and using them to make big money. It's not fucking rocket science. Healy, everyone wants to know what's behind you.
Richard Pryor. It looks like Richard Pryor.
I haven't been monitoring all of them, but none of them have been correct.
So you're not going to show them until someone gets it right. You just got a glimpse right there.
Well, we only have 60 likes, so we might have to never.
I think we're up to 93. I see 93.
I see 93.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, producer Lee. Get with it.
So, Healy, are you going to tell them or no? How did I get to find out what's behind you?
Yeah,
it looks like you're giving like the fucking like Black Power sign or White Power sign, whatever you're doing permanently for the show.
I'll give it out if we reach the free bet portion of the show, depending on how many likes we get.
All right. So it's going to depend on your likes, whether you find out what's behind Healy. So, Healy, final take on whether you think NFL games are fixed.
I do. And more. Just, I know I don't sit and watch a ton of games end to end, like because of red zone and stuff like that nowadays, but these island games, and it seems to be in the start of every fourth quarter, there's just an egregious flag. Every single game that I can remember in these island games recently that either halts the momentum and just completely alters the course of the game.
Yeah. And I listen, I've been noticing it for years. I'm glad you guys are finally noticing it a little bit because now you're going to notice it a lot more. And the way to identify it is at the beginning of games, start noticing where the spots are. That's the way they sneakily do it. Notice the spots. When you see a guy go down here and they spot it here over the line, early in the game, that's the most egregious. That's how you can kind of tell early on what they're doing and if they're fixing the games. But anyway, that's why I love college sports, because I know all college sports are fixed. And most of my bets, if you notice, are contrarian plays that are totally against the public for that reason, because I believe they're fixed. And that's how I've been able to make a nice living betting college doing that. Let's get to Odell Beckham real quick. We'll bang through these other 3 quickly. Odell Beckham, we've kind of beat it to death on some level. Looks like it's going to be the Packers or the Saints or the Chiefs. Healy, what do you think the best landing spot for Odell Gay is?
I mean, for him personally or for the team? Like, what are we talking about?
Both. For OB Gay and for the team.
I think Seattle will be the place that he ultimately lands. Like, Green Bay, like obviously they could use weapons, receivers, but they've been near a decade where they've been unwilling to help Aaron Rodgers out and bring in any type of talent aside from Devontae Adams. So I don't think he lands there. I think Seattle will be the ultimate destination for him.
Green Bay did offer him a contract already, league minimum, the league veteran minimum.
It's about all he's worth. It's about all he's worth.
Well, I mean, that's all he's going to sign for now anyway. He still gets paid his money from the other team, so it's like he's getting paid twice. So he'll sign for – if I'm him, I'd go to Green Bay.
I mean, so for me, it's obviously I got to send you some stuff, Bill. You know how I've been saying the reason Odell Beckham's a head case is because he's, still closeted. He wants to come out that he's gay, and he hasn't. And there's no problem with him being gay at all. I have zero problem with it. I have a problem with him pretending he's not, and not just fucking using his platform to fucking openly tell everyone he is. But he's just a head case. I think he's bad for any team that gets him. I think it's a negative. The Saints is the best landing spot for him by far because they have no one there, and they could just focus the whole offense around him. I think that's a perfect thing because that's where he needs to go, where he could just freelance and get 17 targets and put up numbers and be happy. So I think that's the spot that he could do it, even though it's the spot with the worst quarterback. In Kansas City, I think it just makes it worse. If he goes to Kansas City, they already have no timing on their offense. They're already a disaster, and teams are already playing this fucking bubble coverage over them where they're not letting anyone get deep. So, Odell Beckham is not really a guy who's going to live underneath. He needs to have those nice open seams down the middle, catch those slants and take off. And they already have Tyreek Hill for that. So I don't think he's a good fit there. And then in Green Bay, it would be okay because Rodgers does need a second receiver, but that's too much of a timing offense with Rodgers. Rodgers screams at his receivers all game for being in the wrong spot and not, perfectly timing their routes. So I don't think any of those three spots are good for him outside of the Saints, for me personally.
We'll see.
I guess we'll just wait and see. I mean,
we'll wait and see.
Wait and see.
Packers did make him an offer, Bill, but it was the league minimum.
That's what
they offered him. Yeah. So, Evan, what were you going to say?
I said we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. That's it. We'll see. All right, let's move over to Dalvin Cook. This is a story that's getting brushed under the rug a little bit. It should have been leading every show today. Bill, this story with Dalvin Cook, Healy, you've heard about what's going on with him, right?
Yeah, some report came out. Was it a police report from his girlfriend?
Yeah. So this is from a year ago. It's from a year ago, and the story is so conflicting that it's crazy how opposite both sides of the story are. And the funny thing is that Dalvin Cook came out all of a sudden recently saying that he was abused. He was a victim of domestic violence, right? And then like hours later, after everyone was reporting this, the story broke that she is now suing Dalvin Cook and showed pictures of her face where she was mutilated. Like she was destroyed. Like her face was destroyed. Yeah. Those are the screenshots. I actually have a better one on here. Bill, if you could pull up the Dalvin Cook's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend pictures of her face that you showed me, like she was destroyed. And
the same ones that Evan just posted.
No, it's a different one. You had the ones with the blood on the shirt and all that. The thing about it is that there's text messages from him to her after the event saying, "I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have taken it to that level, et cetera, blah, blah, blah." The other story that his lawyer's saying is that she's an ex who stole the garage opener, came into his house, maced him, and then he retaliated or something. And then there was another story that she was holding people at gunpoint with a gun she stole from him. And then there's her side is she went to his house to break up with him, which would make sense why she had the garage opener if she's his ex. I doubt she stole his garage opener. That part doesn't make any sense at all. She probably had it because they dated and she didn't live in the area. So he would say, whenever you're here, here's the garage opener. I've given girls keys to my apartment before. Never again. And she says she just went there to break up with him and he blacked out and beat the shit out of her with a broomstick or whatever the fuck it is. So everyone's story is completely different.
Now there's a new TikTok video.
Dude, you and TikTok. Bill's our TikTok.
On my TikTok game.
TikTok Rupp. TikTok correspondent Bill Rupp on the scene.
Dalvin Cook's ex-girlfriend threatens him with a gun. So somebody's holding somebody's holding the camera down low, she's not knowing that they're filming her, and you hear her yelling about get Dalvin out here. She has a gun, waving it around. His friends are telling him to calm down. She wants to see him, blah, 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 yelling about everything. So gonna be pretty damning for her, this new video.
I don't know. Listen, like I always said, I don't believe fucking anybody when these things come out,
this story is
I stood by Trevor Bauer after seeing the initial pictures, right? When everyone just buried the motherfucker. And I was like, wait to hear the whole story, right? Like, guys don't just beat the shit out of girls usually. There's usually something more. Now, whether that more was justified or not, like in Ray Rice's case, he didn't just beat the shit out of a girl. She hit him first, but he fucking deserved to be kicked out of the league. Kareem Hunt kicked a girl when she was on the ground. I wanted to hear more. Why did he kick the girl? Well, it turns out he's just a fucking asshole. And he just fucking kicked her because he's a jerk off. So, sometimes it's Trevor Bauer where he beat the shit out of a girl. Then we see there's text messages of the girl saying, I want to beat the shit beat out of me and I want to be choked to death in a bed. Like,
you gotta also remember, this girl is military trained.
Yeah.
Sergeant.
Yeah. So she's not just an average girl off the street or some hooker that he met.
The reason military. She's a former sergeant, right? And the other thing about it is Dalvin Cook did get suspended from Florida State, Healy, for beating the shit out of a girl outside a bar. So everyone forgets that. That was like 2014 or something. So Dalvin Cook has a history of hitting women.
Oh, he's not. How it usually happens a lot of times is what I see is that women are more tended a lot of times to go with men who are like, you know what I'm saying? They're attracted to men who do that.
Well, crazy bitches are attracted to crazy dudes, right? So those fights, you see them in clubs, you see them at bars. They hit them with vases, they punch them in the face, and then if the guy retaliates,
always never. Now when I see altercations where women and men are fighting, I stay out. I intervened one time in front of 7-Eleven at like midnight. This guy was beating the shit out of a girl. I went over and started fighting with the guy, pushed him against the wall. When the cops came, she blamed me.
Yeah.
So that was the last time I intervened on anything like that. Luckily, the store owner of 7-Eleven came out and said, no, this is what happened. Never again am I intervening on any of that. I'll just call the police, stay put.
Well, last time I intervened, Healy, I got fucking smashed in the head with a tire iron and had my fucking head split open and my brains leaking out of my skull. So yeah, that's I don't really intervene more. I mean, I still would get involved, but not to the level that I used to.
A lot of these incidents, it says Dalvin's friends were at the house, so it was really never alone. So these friends probably told their story, and that's why he was never officially charged. Yeah. And now she's suing him civilly, which is a different matter. So that's why Minnesota said we already did our investigation. We notified the NFL. NFL must have done an investigation also, and they found out that there was nothing there. So,
Haley, what do you think?
I mean, the story itself is what it is. I don't think anything, from a punishment or suspension standpoint is going to happen.
No.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see, but like I always say, no matter what it looks like, always hold judgment. Even the Portnoy thing, fucking girls coming out saying like Portnoy took advantage of me. Portnoy, was rough with me in bed. And then a text message comes out from her saying her fantasy. When he asked her, what's your fantasy? Her answer was, my fantasy is being raped and having no control. I got an idea. Maybe don't tell a fucking stranger that's fucking 18, 20 years older than you, who the whole world knows has a fucking, sex fetish where he likes it rough, that your fantasy is being raped. And then saying it got a little rougher than you wanted. Maybe don't tell him. That's like me saying, I want to go get steak. And then you put a steak in front of me and fucking all of a sudden I'm like, fuck you. You're an asshole. I'm a vegetarian. Like, I'm not condoning anything. I'm just telling you that you got to also be clear on your end. She wasn't raped, the girl with Portnoy. She literally said she was sucking his dick and she went down and she said in a text she wants to fuck him. Like, I'm telling you, we need new categories for these things. Rape, the way I see it, is girl walking down the street, guy grabs her, rips her clothes off, fucks her, leaves her in an alley, right? Like, that's what rape used to be. Sexual assault used to be like, oh, we're making out and I don't want to go any further. I don't want to go any further. Bitch, we're going further, right? And then not fucking her, but being aggressive. And then whatever this is, this new age, I agreed to fuck him. We started to fuck. We were fucking hard. And he fucked me too hard. And I said, stop. And then later on, he stopped and I stayed at his house and kept texting him. Like, and then I went back to fuck him again. Like, that's a different level that's kind of discrediting all the girls who really are sexually abused and raped.
Nobody will have Portnoy on to tell his story. I mean, the only person so far who's had him on is Tucker Carlson, and totally agreed with him and hoped that he would get out all right. But nobody, all these channels that had him on before, CNN to do his stocks and everything, and all these other channels, they won't have him on. They're refusing. So it's kind of fucked up. But you're right. This sexual thing with these women now, bro. I'm sleeping the other night. I sleep with my TV on all the time. I wake up and I hear, So I'm, what the fuck? And there's HBO fucking porn on. This fucking dude fucking this girl in like a shop, in like a car shop. He's got her over there fucking her. And then all of a sudden, like, she's just moaning. He grabs her around the throat and starts to squeeze. She looks at him and she's like, she gets real happy. Like that he was about to choke her. And then he takes his hand away, and then they start going back into it again. I'm like, she fucking loved it. It's so weird. I don't know where this came from. Any girl that I sleep with, if you're out there, don't ask me to choke you because I'm not.
No. There's
so that's fucking.
I did a whole weird. No mercy on it 2 years.
I don't do feet, and I don't do choking. So
I don't do choking.
Out of the question.
I won't smack you. I won't choke you. I won't do anything. I'll smack you on the ass.
I'm not even smacking your ass either. It's fucking.
I'll smack the ass. You gotta smack the ass.
I'm not. And I don't want my ass smacked either. So.
Yeah, I like smacking the ass, but nothing out there. I've said so many girls ask me to smack them in the face and choke them. I'm like, nope, not doing that. Not since I got my blue check mark 6 years ago. That shit stopped then. There's no more fun sex like that. We'll leave Aaron Rodgers alone. Let's get to the bets. If we want, we'll come back to Aaron Rodgers.
Tommy thinks it's fun.
What's that? No, I don't like that shit. I've said it from the beginning.
You just said it was fun.
What?
You just said no more fun stuff like that.
No, there's no more like fucking like little fucking getting kinky or anything like that for me. Like no, like
you can't dress up as like Yoda anymore and shit.
Dress up as Yoda. Oh, Bill, you're a funny fucker.
But so many times I want to go to Tommy's house at like 4 a.m. because he always tells me he fucks out on the balcony. So I was going to drive there one day and just record him like dressed up as some weird character or something.
You don't need to record it. The fucking Constantino's fucking buddy lived across from my old apartment. And he was talking about like where he lived. And Mike was like, oh, my buddy lives there. He's like, wait, he's like, does he live in this building? Like the new tall high rise? And Constantino's like, yeah. He's like, all right. And he said something else about him. And the Mike's like, yeah, that's him. He's like, dude, I've seen that kid fucking on the balcony 2 different times at like 7 a.m. Like that dude's a fucking animal. When Constantino's on Friday, ask him about the story. He'll tell it. But yeah, I mean, listen, that's what I say. I like the fucking, I like public sex. I like all that. But that's the fun shit that I just stay away from now. I got sent a video the other day of me running around the block naked from 10 years ago because I lost a beer pong bet outside my fucking apartment at fucking 7 a.m. But yeah, that stuff's all over now. Now it's just boring sex for me. That's it. Boring sex. Can't end up in the papers like these motherfuckers. Bitches be crazy. NBA free bets. Let's get into this, Healy. What are we looking at in the NBA tonight on the hardwood?
NBA, we got a full slate of games tonight with just about every team kind of in action. So a pretty big menu, a lot of questionables that we'll continue to work through, but a couple props jumped out this morning when we were looking, and we're coming off a pretty good night of NBA.
Well, you swept. Didn't you swept the props last night, didn't you?
Yeah, we swept the board. We were 4-0 last night, so it was good to wake up to. The last one was good when I fell asleep at halftime, and it ended up cashing. So it was a good night, and we look to continue to build upon it here. So first one for me, Josh Giddey of the Oklahoma City Thunder, over 5.5 assists. I know Tommy loves the assist props, so I'm going to keep making you sweat those out.
I hate it. I hate him.
He's essentially taken over as the facilitator, kind of on the offensive end. Shai is taking on more of the lead scoring role. It's kind of led Giddey to now leading the team in assists per game. His potential assists per game is now, he just cracked inside the top 20 at nearly 13 a game. And he's got a really good matchup here against the Pelicans, who are allowing the 4th most assists per game at just over 26. So I like this spot for Giddey. And then how many likes we got? All right, we got 125 on the button. So we'll give one more here. I also like Anthony Davis tonight, over 35.5 points and rebounds. I know this is a tough matchup here against Tommy's Miami Heat, but with LeBron off the course, this is more of a volume play for me. His usage rate jumps up to 33%, which is like a 4% increase. He's the primary scorer. He's going to continue to shoot the ball 20 plus times. And if you're going to give him that kind of volume, I really like his chances to go well over the 35.5. I have him projected for like 42 in this one. So I really like that number. So those are the two I'll give out here for the hardwood. I have a few others posted in Discord for subscribers.
Okay. Would you say you're giddy about that first prop?
I'm very giddy about the first prop.
Okay. That was good. But don't bump. Bill, anything on the hardwood for you today?
No, like Healy said, there's a lot of players who are questionable. I will find that diamond in the rough like the other night with Anthony Drummond, who completely dominated that prop by the third quarter. He dominated that prop again last night. So just got to look for a couple of those, but there's a lot of players who are questionable. It's very early for NBA right now. I do like the Nets a lot tonight, but that's a 10-point spread. And I also like the Warriors. The Warriors are absolutely on fire. Steph Curry is playing like an MVP. So I'll be taking the Warriors in some type of bet tonight. Steph plays the whole first quarter and the whole third quarter usually. So those are the times to hit it. They were down by like 12, I think, the other day going into the half. And then that's when you hit them because Steph plays the third quarter and they just dominate. It's been like that for years. Warriors third quarter. So,
well, I mean, I've said it the whole time. They fucking they tighten the rims on one side of the court.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The Warriors have always been a second half team because the rims are tighter. And this isn't just a conspiracy theory. They cheat. Like all these teams cheat. Like there was players even talking about it years ago. But I said it on Sirius XM. I was like, dude, they fucking tighten the rims. If you watch it, the rims are tighter on the fucking side they're shooting on to start the game. And then they get to shoot on the softer rims in the second half. It's just watch the way the ball bounces. They cheat over there in Golden State. Continue, Bill.
Yeah, so now the Warriors definitely, I'm going to have them in there. And the Nets I'm looking at. It's a big spread, so we'll see about that one. And then my Knicks are playing tonight. Big game against the Bucks. Knicks won the other day. I think it's going to be tough for them tonight. But Milwaukee hasn't really been playing that well as of late. They got a win yesterday against the Sixers without Embiid, that team is just all COVID and still a close game. So we'll see what happens tonight. But I'm looking at the Knicks, the Nets, and the Warriors.
Knicks, Nets, Warriors. All right. So let's move it along. Let's get to the NHL free bets. So Night Ghost is not with us today, but he is coming in via text message, and he has given me his plays. I think, Bill, there's only three. Isn't there only 3 games tonight? 3
NHL games. Yep.
Yeah. So he has a lean on all 3. So we'll give the most Night Ghost plays when Night Ghost isn't here. So maybe for you guys, you should petition for Night Ghost not to be here anymore. And then you'll get more hockey bets because he's giving 3 bets as he's not here. So he said, I like the Flyers, Stars, and Wild tonight. So he is on the Flyers, Stars, and Wild. And Bill Rupp also fucking had a hockey play before the game that coincides with one of Night Ghost plays.
The Wild.
Which was the Wild.
Just simply looking at it, not a big hockey guy. Couldn't even name 3 players on either of those teams. The Wild are 8-3, and the Coyotes are 1-10. Simply put, Wild win. Don't know who's in net. It could be like
you couldn't. Would you care who's in net? You couldn't name a goal.
Xander Schmitzel or Connor Kreger Jockerson. Who knows? But
yeah. So Bill Rupp says 8-3 versus 1-10. Let's lay the wood on the 8-3 team.
Always go with the 8-3.
Yeah, I mean, do you agree with that, Healy? 8-3 versus 1-10. You should lay the wood on the 8-3.
I mean, that sounds like it's going totally against the system if this was college football or college basketball. But to be honest, I don't know much about the NHL and betting trends, so I'm gonna side with Bill here and say bet the 8-3 team.
Yes, that seems like a good move. We're gonna bet the 8-3 team today. So that's the hard hitting analysis that you get here on Stay Cashin from Bill Rupp, hockey extraordinaire, while the Night Ghost is out. So college today is a pretty shitty slate. Not gonna lie, I still have a little more digging.
Huge lines.
What's up? Yeah,
huge lines.
Yeah, it's some really big lines early on. Obviously, teams go one of 2 ways to start the season in the first game. They either go and play a big fucking rival at the Garden like you saw last night, or they go and play fucking Northern Alabama. right? Like there isn't much in between. You're trying to either knock the rust off or you're trying to get that statement game early in the season. What I will tell you, those of you who tuned in to Stay Cashin yesterday, to start the season, Nostradamus, I told you college basketball is my best sport. It's not even close. You guys know from my Twitter fame and 10-year history of crushing it. Yesterday, gave you Kansas, gave you Duke, both covered easy. Actually said on the show they should both win by 10 or more, that these games won't be close and these lines are extremely off. And I think Kansas won by 13 and Duke was up 10 almost the whole second half, ended up winning by 8. So dead on. Every sharp in America was on fucking Kentucky because they're retarded. Kentucky almost barely beat a fucking D2 college the game before they played there. So my boy Paolo for Duke balling out. So 2-0 yesterday with Kansas and Duke. I'm coming back at you today with a little more obscure one. I really don't want to play this Michigan game at 6:30. Don't like what I'm seeing. The line's going crazy. I kind of like Buffalo. I think Michigan's a very good team. I kind of like Buffalo a little bit. So I'm torn on this. So I don't have a play on this yet. We'll probably have one at 4deepbets.com. The one play that I do like, which is pretty obscure, I like Florida Atlantic. That's the play I have right now. So I have Florida Atlantic minus 114. That's going to be my free Stay Cashin play for tonight. We'll take this to 3-0 at the end of the night. Pretty close to a play on Florida State. I lean Florida State. 20 points is a lot. I just need to dig into a couple more things closer to tip off around 9 o'clock to make a final decision on that. But Florida Atlantic minus 114. Tommy G, Stay Cashin, lock of the day. So let's move on to Thursday night football. Mr. Healy, we have another Thursday night football game, which lines up to potentially be another fucking shit show with two teams that maybe it shoots out. Maybe it's fucking 17-10. The total's 46, right? It's right there. Seems to line up perfectly for the 13-point teaser, getting 21.5 with Miami, getting the touchdown with Baltimore and then playing it over 32 and under 60 or something like that for me. But Mr. Healy, Baltimore Ravens laying 7.5 at the Miami Dolphins. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, so we're still Tua's status, still questionable as far as if he's going to be able to return. So there's not much out there in terms of props on the Miami side, because that a lot hinging upon that, because they really can't move the ball too well via the air if Tua's out. So it would be, Myles Gaskin kind of has taken over in this backfield. He'd be an interesting play in both daily fantasy and in the prop market once those get posted. On the Ravens side, we know the Dolphins secondary, primarily the corners, and that's their kind of the strength to their defense. They do give it up in the middle of the field a little bit, so I think this is a really good spot for Mark Andrews. And then that backfield, it's just such a committee. It's hard to get behind anyone from a prop standpoint. For me, you can take flyers in daily fantasy on some of these guys and hope your guy kind of gets in the end zone. It seems Devontae Freeman is currently the lead guy there, but it's certainly a three-headed monster. And then Lamar Jackson. Miami plays a ton of man, so his rushing props always interest me, regardless of matchup. But obviously against a team playing man, the corners are going to have back to him much more, which leads to bigger chunk runs versus some teams that play zone that are constantly have eyes on him. So as far as a play on this game, I'm going to go with Mark Andrews over 49.5 receiving yards. As I mentioned, the Dolphins' strengths on the perimeter and defending the boundaries. They've given up the second most receiving yards to tight ends at just under 600 coming into this week. So I think this is a bounce back spot for Andrews, who had a really tough matchup. I talked about it on the roundtable. I was completely off him despite being very heavily invested in Lamar in daily fantasy last week. I was off Andrews, but I think this is the spot to jump back on. So I'm going to hop on his receiving yards here tomorrow night.
Okay. Sir Rupp.
I love what Healy said. I love Myles Gaskin. I love his receptions over 3.5. I put that in before. I love it. He's probably going to get, I think, 5 or 6. They're going to dump it off to him, out of the backfield. They're going to dump it off to him. A lot of short catches. You could also take Waddle. Also, he's going to get those short catches also. So last week we hit with Gesicki. His yards moved up 8 or 9 yards right before that game started. So I am going to go with over 3.5 receptions by Gaskins.
All right. I actually lean the Dolphins in the points a little bit in this one, getting the 7.5. I'm going to want to see if Tua plays. I don't think Tua is very good, but I think Brissett is worse. So that's really what it comes down to. I think Brissett, I'll never bet on Jacoby Brissett, but Tua is good enough that I would take the points here. I just don't think any of these fucking, what's up?
You're going against the TikTok trend. Not
fuck
good.
Fuck TikTok.
Not good.
Fuck my dick talk.
Right, guys, TikTok.
No, rough rooting for the TikTok trend. Haley?
Well, I was going to say, I'm assuming, if you played it, you're probably going to tease it. So TikTok can still win if Tommy bets it in a teaser.
Yeah.
And I will also note, I was going to bet Marquise Brown, but I didn't want to be called a copycat or anything by Bill Rupp again. So I left that bet off this week.
He left it off for you. How about that?
I mean, no, now he leaves it off when it doesn't hit last week.
Oh, yeah. I'm going right back to, like Haley said, with a lot of man defense being played. I love the quarterbacks running. Lamar Jackson, national TV. He loves to run on national TV. He loves to make his case that he's the elite quarterback, especially with Mahomes taking a little dip here. Lamar.
Go back to the Dolphins +7. Buck the TikTok trend.
Go ahead. Yeah. No. So right now I lean the Dolphins +7.5. Okay. I'll have an official play on that tomorrow once I see the status of all the players, including defensive players. We still have Latavius Murray questionable, Sammy Watkins questionable. There's a bunch of guys that are still on the fence. But right now I'm taking the 7.5 points. I'm taking over a touchdown in pretty much any NFL game that comes across my radar for the rest of my life this season. So there's just no team good enough to lay 7 points to anybody right now in this league, in my opinion. So I'm leaning Dolphins +7.5. I'll definitely have the Dolphins teased. I already have them teased. So we did a teaser on Monday night, which was Bears +14.5 and Dolphins +14.5. So I actually have the Dolphins +14.5 already in a max bet teaser, which closes out tomorrow with a win, bucking Bill's TikTok trend.
Tommy's speaking all lies right now. All lies.
Yeah. What? I don't have a max bet pending?
Your picks for it. Well, as we went over our picks that we started.
I said Dolphins.
Night. Hold on. You just said that you're going to take 7 or over every time. Now,
almost every time. There was one
all right,
game.
Well, so let's go to 2 games this week. You picked the Steelers -9.5 over the Lions. That was
okay. Lions are an exception.
Okay, so and you also picked Tampa over Washington.
Yeah,
9.5.
That's an exception. So those are landed.
Another exception.
My final picks aren't in yet.
All right, guys. So he's gonna take the point, but there's going to be exceptions.
There's going to be exceptions, obviously. But in most situations, I'm going to take the points, I should say. Good catch, Bill Rob. So what I will say, I did pick the Dolphins.
Hold on. You did take the Jets 13. So
let's not give all the plays for the subscribers who pay.
Well, these are just preliminary. These are
I know, but let's
Monday night early.
They get a couple of free bets on here. They don't get the whole fucking list.
I'm just saying that's what you took on Monday.
Right.
Monday.
So we'll let them know on Monday how we did.
Monday to Sunday is totally different. But let's see.
Yeah, so we'll see. So right now I am taking the touchdown and a half on the Dolphins, but my play is actually Lamar Jackson rushing. So I like the Lamar Jackson rushing total right now. His fucking rushing totals have been insane of late. He's finally waking up. 12 carries and 21 carries in the last 2 games. That's fucking 33 carries over the last 2 games. That's probably more than Jonathan Taylor's had, considering they never get him over 20. But 208 yards over that span. So Lamar Jackson over 62.5 rushing. And I'm probably also going to take the Dolphins +7.5. I like Marquise Brown too. I'm not a Gaskin guy, so I'll lay off that one, but I do like the Marquise Brown over too. Anything else on that game, Healy? Do you have a lean on a side?
I do not. I mean, I can't lean aside. There's too many guys questionable right now.
Yeah.
Even Devontae Parker questionable as well. So 2 kind of key guys there on the Miami side.
Yeah, we'll get that over there. So now we actually have some time on the back end here to recircle back to Aaron Rodgers, which we didn't talk about before. Healy, what's your take on Aaron Rodgers? Is he a liar? Everyone's going crazy. He's fucking killing people. He's murder. I saw someone say he should be put in jail on a show. I saw someone say he should be kicked out of the league. I saw someone say he should be suspended. The fines are too light. We need to punish this man. What is your take, Keely?
I think it's egregious. I mean, the guy's serving his time away based on the COVID rules that the NFL implemented, and that should be it. You know, he knew what those rules were coming in.
But he didn't follow those rules throughout the season so far.
What do you mean about
he didn't follow the mask mandates. He didn't follow. He was playing it off as he was a vaccinated player. So those
good for him.
So every rule that so the organization obviously knew that. So Green Bay is much as fault as anybody else, but the other teams didn't know that. So as I was talking to Tommy before, Kyler Murray didn't know that. Kyler Murray thought that he was vaccinated because he came out and said he had what did he say? He was didn't say
he was immunized. He was immunized.
So Kyler Murray thought so. So after the game, when he should have put his mask on and gone up to Kyler Murray and shake his hand, he did not put his mask on. And he went up and spoke in Kyler Murray's face like everything was all right.
You sound so stupid.
Kyler Murray wants to make a big deal out of it and say, hey, this asshole said that he was vaccinated and he came over and talked to my face when he should have had a mask on. I mean, that's not right.
Let me ask you a question. If he's vaccinated or unvaccinated,
I mean, it doesn't.
Can't he still spread COVID?
I'm not arguing that.
No, you are. You're saying that he put other people at risk.
No. I'm not arguing that. That's not the thing. Healy said protocol. So he's.
But if the protocol doesn't make sense, fuck the protocol.
No. Then don't play in the NFL.
No, just play and do whatever the fuck you want and take the fine. How about that?
You can't just do whatever you want. No,
he just did. He just did.
And the fine was too small.
Well, guess what? That's why you do whatever the fuck you want when you're a multi-millionaire.
Let everybody do the fuck they want. Who cares?
They should.
All right, to let everyone do what they want.
They should. I think they should. When it comes to fucking your health and what you share and this and that, like, listen, the bottom line is
you didn't have to say anything, Tommy.
No, but he chose to fucking. He chose to mislead.
You made the argument that you said, "Oh, he had to say something because everybody was Aaron Rodgers." Well, two other great quarterbacks who were paid the same amount of money in the league as him said that they weren't vaccinated. So why does he get to make up some bullshit? Why couldn't he just say nothing?
Because Kirk Cousins and Carson Wentz, no one gives a fuck about.
Oh, okay. But Kirk Cousins and Carson Wentz can say, I'm not vaccinated and I don't want to get vaccinated. And
they can say whatever they want. If Aaron Rodgers said it would have been.
At the end of they never got questioned again. Aaron Rodgers didn't have to say anything.
Aaron Rodgers was already in a media shitstorm going into the season. The last thing he needed was to add him unvaccinated.
It would have been 2 days of, oh my God, what are you doing? And then it would have been over.
Not true, Healy.
I mean, he's going to eat the fine and the show goes on.
Yeah, who fucking cares? Like you risked, like you put Kyler Murray at risk.
It should have been a bigger fine. That's what I think. Should have been a bigger fine.
I'm still trying to figure out how he put Kyler Murray at risk.
The guy who makes $50 million a year and the organization who makes $300 million a year to get a $300,000 fine and a $15,000 fine is ridiculous. You might as well not have fined him anything.
Right, and that's the beauty of it. That's why because dude.
So you're saying he's wrong. So the NFL's saying he lied and he's wrong, and he didn't follow their protocols, but we're fining him only $15,000.
That's the rule. Just like their silly rule is that you have to wear a mask if you're not vaccinated.
Yeah.
And so that is their fine for not doing it.
Listen, the thing that you're missing, Bill.
That's their rule.
Bill, the thing that you're missing is the NFL doesn't fucking care. They don't want to put that rule in that you got to wear a mask if you're not vaccinated. They know it doesn't make any fucking sense. They know whether you're vaccinated or not, you could spread it exactly the same. So the mask or no mask should apply to everyone or no one because it doesn't change anything. The NFL has to do it because they get pressure from sponsors and the league and the president and all that shit. So the NFL goes out and says, all right, guys, you got to wear a mask wherever you are because we're really strong on COVID. And then all of a sudden, when they don't wear the mask, they go, here you go, make us look good. Here's a fine. No one fucking cares.
Well, now they just set the standards that obviously they don't care.
They never did. They never did. They just have to pretend they do.
Nobody should wear a mask and no one should say they're vaccinated or not. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. But they have to because the social justice warriors got to come out. So they're just appeasing them. That's it.
So you didn't like, Bill, that CeeDee Lamb got fined more for an untucked shirt?
I mean, it's ridiculous. Everything's ridiculous. Djokovic only getting 1 game and then Morris getting 0 games makes no sense. None of these leagues make
Jimmy
sense.
Butler got the biggest fine of anyone. He wasn't even in the fight.
How are you going to give Djokovic a game and then not Morris? And then, Djokovic only gets one game for fucking rib tackling the guy. Makes no sense.
If you would have told me Djokovic was going to get one game, I would have laughed you off the show. I was like, there's no way he's only going to get one game for literally coming and bulldozing someone in the back. And then
Djokovic's brothers are going nuts.
I love it.
With they're the Djokovic brothers are.
Dude, they're UFC fighters. They're like fucking like Muay Thai fighters, like in fucking wherever the fuck he's from. Like those dudes are fucking bad motherfuckers.
Fuck with them big foreigners.
Dude, you don't fuck with countries like that. I heard someone say it on the show today. These dudes didn't grow up like us. We grow up in fear of fights at bars and shit like that. These dudes grow up in fear of their house getting bombed, like bombs falling on their house. Like they're literally like, they're not people to fuck with. Those
guys don't tweet. So when
they don't give up. When
they make a Twitter and they start coming after you and you're the Morris brothers, you better put up bars on your house.
That's why. Did you see Marcus Morris? He fucking goes on there. He goes, my mom told me to shut up, so I'm going to shut up. I love him. No, okay. The Jokic brothers told you they're going to find you and kill you. That's what shut you the fuck up, tough guy.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great. Haley, what do you think the fine and the suspension was?
War-torn fighters.
Serbian, right? That's Serbian. That's right. Serbia. Dude, that fucking place is getting bombed every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Take a vacation to Serbia. Let me know how that works out.
I mean, I thought the game was justified there. I don't think you need to go above and beyond. Emotions got the best of them. I know they're supposed to set an example, but man, he took a cheap shot from Morris. Like, he kind of got blindsided too. I know he didn't go down, but
both should have gotten one. They both should have gotten a game.
All right, yeah, correct. But Morris should have got a game. I'm fine with just a game suspension. Yeah,
well, he is the MVP of the league. Also, I mean, you got to set some type of example here.
I think they should fight more. I loved it. I thought it was great. I missed the old days.
Would LeBron James ever do that in a game? Ever?
No. And how, dude, honestly, everyone calls Jokic soft. You could tell right there, not by pushing someone in the back. That's fucking, I mean, listen, I get it. He was pissed off. He got cheap shotted on his free throw. We're not talking about fucking, some regular player, fucking Tyler Hero or someone doing this to him. We're talking about the Morris brothers, who are the dirtiest players like in the NBA, right? Like they're known to be dirty enforcer type players. So, I mean, I'm sure this wasn't the first time something like this happened, right? There was probably other incidents. They've had issues, those two teams before. So I'm sure there was other issues at some point where, he was cheap shot and this was just the final straw. But the funniest thing is you could tell how much they respect Jokic from like a street standpoint, that everyone else just ran up to him and just went like this instead of fucking pushing him back. Like no one put a hand on him.
Yeah,
no one touched.
Your six-man Tyler Hero, he took 2 steps forward and about 6 steps back.
Yeah, what the fuck? Tyler Hero, what's he gonna do? He fucking Jokic.
I watched that video like 10 times. It's so funny.
Dude, how about Adebayo though? Adebayo had a perfect run to fucking do the same thing to Jokic and didn't do it. He was afraid of him.
No.
He would have.
They're all afraid of him. They're all.
The funniest thing ever was the Jokic brothers' tweets.
But it's Shaq and Charles both were very vocal in support of Jokic last night on the TNT broadcast.
Oh, really? I didn't see it. What'd they say?
Yeah, they were like, if you're going to hit a big man blindside, don't go turning your head and looking the other way like Morris did. Cheap shot him, walk away. He's like, because we're coming for you. And that's exactly what Shaq said.
Yeah. I mean, don't you bring my boy Tyler Hero into this, fighting a fucking 7'2" giant. You leave Tyler Hero alone. He was the only person to at least get in his face a little bit. Fucking Adebayo is the one. Adebayo's fucking 6'11", got a clean shot at his back, got a bullseye on him, and just ran up and ran around him like, please don't do that again. And then walked away. Fuck out of here. All right. Anything we missed in the chat, Evan, or anything we should add before we get out of here?
I didn't see anything.
All right, cool. So yes, never turn your back in the middle of a fight. You learn that at a very young age. That's stupid. So, Haley, final words.
I just want to show note. We got right on an hour today. Ghost no showed. His long-winded answers weren't necessary today to run the show an hour and 20 minutes. So thanks for letting me fill in, Ghost.
Yeah, see, nice tight ship without Ghost here, huh? We covered fucking OBJ, we covered Cook, we covered NBA bets, NHL bets, college basketball bets, Thursday night football recap. Spent 15 minutes talking about the Monday night football game and had enough time to circle back to Aaron Rodgers conversation. And we're out of here in fucking 56 minutes because we started at 2:07.
54
Healy.
minutes and 50 seconds.
What is it?
54 minutes and 54 seconds.
I mean, dude, Bill, is it possible that the soft-spoken night ghost is actually the thing that actually makes these shows over an hour?
I mean, I'm just looking at the Jokic brothers, and these three guys are coming for the Morris brothers. Supposedly, they all live in like a little 3-bedroom apartment.
They're fucking crazy, dude. They're fucking crazy. You got me going to the Jokic brothers Twitter now. This is gonna be Bill's new Brian Laundrie. He's gonna be on the Jokic.
Oh God,
we need a
awesome.
Jokic.
You like Jokic's girlfriend, and then the three nuts. They all live together.
All right, Bill. Final words.
No.
Actually, no. Hold on. Before you do final words, Healy, are you gonna do the unveiling?
Oh yeah, what's behind you?
he stood up.
I don't know who the fuck that guy is. I have no idea. So
some people were close in the chat saying it was Kenny Powers. It's actually not Kenny Powers. It's actually the guy who plays Kenny Powers, character from a different show, which Healy is back now. Healy, would you like to tell us which show it is?
Yeah, The Righteous Gemstones on HBO. And I believe they have a new season going to be coming out here shortly. If you haven't checked it out, certainly I highly recommend it.
All right. So I need a new show to binge. So I just finished Inside Job on Netflix, which is
I got to get like one in the background with the Jokic brothers right behind me.
Bill and the Jokic brother. Final words, Bill.
Nothing. Let's go. Football on Thursday. It's been shitty. Let's see what happens.
Bill doesn't know what to say when he can't just copy Night Ghost's final words.
Yeah, I know. I like to copy Ghost.
Evan, final words.
Hit the link in bio, sign up for MyBookie, and collect on Mondays.
That's it. Promo code Tommy100 at MyBookie for 100% sign up bonus up to $1,000. Monkey Knife Fight. Go to our affiliate page. We have promo links for Monkey Knife Fight on there too. And then obviously, if you guys want that college basketball fire for the rest of the year, along with Healy's NBA, Bill Rupp's football and basketball, Night Ghost hockey, Constantino's UFC, Rackets tennis, Hoffman's same game parlays, and I don't even think I forgot anyone. Get over to 4deepbets.com. 4deepbets.com. Promo code VIP20 for 20% off the whole entire site. For Evan, for the out of town Night Ghost, for Brian Healy, for Bill Rupp, and for the Jokic brothers, I am Tommy G. Good luck. Stay cashin', motherfuckers.
Let's go!